Hello, happy Tuesday, and welcome to another live stream. I'm really looking forward to working with you guys today. I am working on a doodle sketch of a Ghost Rider style girl. So I'm just kind of making shit up as I go along, and hopefully we'll have lots of fun working on it together. Good evening, Rob. How are you? Welcome to the stream today. Yay! So as usual, my tool set that I'll be using for my sketching is these. Both of these are by Tombow. This is their stick eraser, I think, Mono Stick, and this is their Mono Zero in the round barrel. So I use these two as my erasers. I also have a kneaded eraser. It's one of the ones that you can kind of move around to whatever shape you need, and I use this to lighten my lines, but not get rid of them completely, because this eraser is extremely effective. This is actually like a painting brush, but I use it to dust away my eraser shavings. And then my two favorite pencils. This is a Alvin Draft Tech 0.3 millimeter pencil, and this is just a simple Pentel Twist Erase 0.9. So these are the tools that I'll be using today to work on this piece. So she currently has no hair. She does not have her jacket on. There's a lot I need to work on. And then of course there's chains. So chains. Oh my God. Why do I do this to myself? But anyway, I look forward to working with you guys on this piece, and hopefully it'll be lots of fun. Kenny, Alina, Lauren, Keeman, Juan. Let me see. Outsider, True Deadman, hello. Yes, she has face. Philip, Joel, hello. Welcome to the stream, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. Steve, hi. So I'm just going to make sure that my Twitch is running and that I'm in the creator dashboard, and then Facebook as well. So I have both open this time, finally. Okay, perfect. And let's get back to stream. David Robinson, hello. How's everyone doing today? Are you having a good day so far? We're in the week of hot here in Calgary, and this house, since we recently moved, this house has much better airflow in it. Like, we can get direct air from all the windows, and we have actually a good wind current. I don't know. Wind flow. I can't English today, it seems. I thought I was doing really good, but no. So we are, it's cross breeze. Thank you, True Deadman. We have an excellent cross breeze in this house. I am not dying. You will not hear the incessant bitching and whining that I usually do in our week of hot. Oh man, sorry Lauren. My house actually gets quite clean during digital coloring time, because for me it's either I'm going to pick up my Cintiq and throw it across the room, which is not advisable, or I go clean. So I get up and I'll vacuum a part of the house and then sit down and keep drawing, and it just keeps me from losing my mind. We don't have air conditioning, Jerry. Canada, there are a lot of newer homes that do have air conditioning. Any house that I have lived in here in Calgary and Canada did not. Yeah, Steve, I was waiting for you to help me English. Hello, Sandy. So nice to see you. Oh, sorry, Outsider. That's so rough. You haven't watched these since I moved? Welcome back, Joshua. Unnecessary stuff. That's right. Oh no, Juan, I'm so sorry. That sucks. Is this your first time catching COVID? It's 6 p.m. and 38 right now. Thank you for changing it to centigrade, Lauren. I understand it now. AC is a must, yeah, for you guys. We have like 1 week that hits 30. And then the rest of the time, we're like doing good to have a 25 day in centigrade. And that's for the maybe 4 months of summer, warm-ish. Otherwise, it's like cold jackets and possibly snow. Hiram, hello. Welcome to the stream. No aircon, gets to 50. Oh my God, Steve. Yeah, see, you need air conditioning. We have maybe a couple days, if I'm being truly honest, that reach 30 centigrade here. Is this a commission? No, this is for funsies. I do have commissions I'm working on. I have some layouts for my next commission, which is a Wonder Woman piece, not Wonder Booty, another Wonder Woman. But right now I'm just doing a just for funsies sketch. So my plan is that her hair will be flaming, but not her face. And then she has the skull head is kind of like, for anyone who's seen Naruto or what's the other one? Demon Slayer, how they wear those masks and then they kind of put them on the side of their head. Somehow they click on. That kind of concept. And so she's sort of holding it up over her face, covering one eye so I don't have to worry about aligning eyeballs. Yes. It's just been a sore throat, cough, and headache that wouldn't go away, but I feel a lot better. Aw, Juan, so much love to you and so sorry. Cersei, hello. Everything you do is fun. Thank you, Joshua. It's 93. I'm assuming that's pretty hot. Jason Coates, hello. Sarah, hi. Jeff Martin, welcome to the stream. Outsider, currently 31. Where you are means it's kind of a nice day. Let me look and see what it is here actually. I had heard that it was going to reach 30 today, but I don't know. Okay, so it's 29 right now, but it is starting to head into the evening. Feels like 31. And then Wednesday is going to have a high of 27. And this is like our hottest week of the year. Temperatures reaching 30 degrees Celsius combined with overlight. No, okay. Heat warning. So it's 30 here, and that's a heat warning for Canada. Yeah, I'm not expecting much in the way of sympathy from anyone that lives further south than I do, which is most everyone. Devin, hello. Joel, my God, where do you live? Temp in Florida is 98 and feels like 101. 30 C here, considered a Tuesday. Thank you, Joshua. I'm doing my best to survive. Wyoming. Oh, so are you like, okay, I'm really going to show my stupidity here, but is that kind of where there's tornadoes? We are all just in an oven right now. Lauren, I'm so sorry. 104, so 40. Jason, I can't. 34 for Hiram. Can anyone beat 41? Looks like Jason has 40, so he's close. Hello, Bobby. Welcome to the stream. So I want her to have, like, heavy makeup. You know, this is going to be kind of as heavy metal as I can push it, you know? So, yeah, that's what I'm going for. And then I'm going to have chains kind of wrapped around her neck. and hanging down. So I had them there already, and then I realized I need to turn them because boobs have depth. They are rounded, not flat. BC had record-breaking 114. I'm not sure if we had record-breaking last year, but one of these years it was like the hottest day in recorded history in Calgary. 2018, Lyndon just informed me. It was 41 here earlier in the day. God, that's so hot. They have weight too, and roundness and stuff. True, Rob. Thank you for keeping me honest. All right. So I want to give her the jacket with the spikes. There's going to be chains coming down. Her hair is going to be in flames, and I want to draw cool looking flames. I don't want to do stupid looking flames. Lyndon is on stream. No, Lyndon's over at his computer, and he just kind of hollered at me. Oh, really, James? I hope so, Lauren. If it doesn't look cool, I'm gonna be bummed. But you know, I made this confession to Brian Polito a little while ago. For as often and as much as I work on Coffin Comics projects, I actually struggle quite a bit with drawing skulls. Like a human skull is actually very difficult for me to draw. And I confessed this to Coffin Comics after I had worked for them for about 7 years, so I figured it was a safe time to give them the heads up. And Brian's like, yeah, well, you know, that's kind of a prerequisite for being able to work for Coffin Comics. And I'm like, gotcha. Aw. It's the wife's birthday today. Please wish Mary a happy birthday from all of us. Happy birthday, Mary. Sketching on me. Oh, sorry, Scott. All right. So we're going for, you know, intense eye makeup. I've got her chin is down, but just slightly. In my rough sketch, she looked to me like her head was resting on her shoulders. And that is not a good look for what I'm going for here. I should have, if I wanted it that far down, for starters, I'm not very good at the like extreme down angle because this part of the body starts to confuse me a little bit, and I haven't really, in my opinion, been able to pull it off successfully, to me anyway, of like a really forced down face. It's kind of one of my unicorns. I'm working on it. Quick art business question. If an art booth show was scheduled for July 29th being held indoors, would you decline considering there's... Oh, held outdoors. You know, I'm really, really sun sensitive. So it depends. Are there awnings? Is there something to protect you from the elements? Or are you literally going to stand outside for an entire day and bake? And how much does the sun affect you? Thank you, Art by Clark. Remember, the head is supposed to be right on the boobies. Ask Dan. Dan has the boobies coming out of the neck. It shows, you know, that is like the perfect example of, you know, importance. You know, it's face, boobs right here, rest of body. Like, I would need like fans and, you know, I shrivel off like a banana peel if okay, see, you know, that's one of those things that you're going to need to consider. weigh it against, you know, how well you need to feel on the following day and how much you need to be at the show. For me, I know that I just get like, I'm sure it's not real heat stroke, but I get like heat stroke symptoms if I am out in the sun for more than about 2 hours. I will have a horrible migraine the next day, nauseated, earaches, the whole nine. So it really depends what you can handle. And if you're like me, then, you know, I mean, I don't want to tell you to skip a show or cancel or something like that. I don't know the implications, but me personally, I wouldn't be able to handle it. I would be out for the rest of the week, probably, sick as a dog. So, flaming hair, that means we're going to see glow in the eyes, which means I need to show kind of a little bit more of the eye cavity going in so that we can get that. And I'm not going to make it quite so realistic. A lot of times I have to start realistic and then stylize it down. Just because realism, I'm not a realistic artist, but at least my style does angle more towards comic realistic as opposed to comic cartoon, I think. So a lot of times I'll go more realistic and then kind of break it down to a little bit simpler. He casts a big enough shadow. He sure does, my God. I get miserable, want to leave, I'll look for a reason to leave. See, then you know what you can handle, and then, yeah, maybe protect yourself a little bit. No, Juan Solo, this isn't the real Ghost Rider. This is just for funsies. Anyway, here is the bottom of the piece. And I'll tell you guys a funny. When I was working on the original sketch for this, like just kind of planning out my ideas and stuff, I thought it would be way fun to have like the chain around her neck and then looping down and her holding the chain right here. And Dan was seeing it for the first time. He came upstairs and looked at my sketch and he just burst out laughing. And the reason why is all he saw was that it looked like she was taking herself for a walk. Oh my God, that would be funny. But no, so now I just have the chains kind of ending here. There's no taking herself for a walk situation. And to answer Juan's question, no, I actually drew Ghost Rider, like for real Ghost Rider, at a sketch duel one time, and then I did a Ghost Rider commission for someone at New York Comic Con a few years ago, like a head sketch. Well, yeah, especially in BC. More worried about a sudden rain shower. Yeah, that's a rough one, Cersei. Oh, I thought it might be you, True Deadman. Okay, so True Deadman has my sketch from New York. Oh, yay, Joel. That's awesome. All right, so I want to do flames. And I don't really want the flames going up. I am going to kind of make it look like hair. And this is how I start hair. And in this case, I'm just going to change the hair flow to flames. But I'm going to scribble out the flow. And I want little pieces of flame kind of coming down and, you know, being all around. But I'm thinking I kind of want the hair flow. I mean, I need to be careful. I don't necessarily want her to look like Medusa. And then I feel like weight-wise, for the weight of the picture, I kind of think that there needs to be some of her hair coming down here too. So I might just have the flame pieces sort of loop around and then go down, like kind of an S shape on the piece. Yeah, I suppose so. Basically Starfire hair, but not. Sorry, guys. It is very hot for me. I'm going to be drinking a ton of water. It's the first sketch in the book. Yay, True Deadman. I should have thought of Nova. Give her the penance stare. What is the penance stare? 70s Farrah Fawcett hair. Yes, also good. Isabella. Hello in San Pedro. Well, no, Sao Paulo. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, so I'm thinking something like that. There will be glow in the eyes, which will be casting glow onto her hand and this part of her arm. I'm planning to digitally color this one. And so her hair is going to come here. I've got myself a tangent line, which is a problem. I will fix it somehow up there. And then she's got like tight pants on. I'm saving the moonshine for some funsies. Like, have some drinks when Laura comes to visit. Yeah, exactly. Okay, Penance Stare, Ghost Rider's main power. He forces his enemy to feel all the pain they've inflicted on others. No, I love that. I wish I knew that already. Thank you, Robert. That's true. Ah, okay. Thank you all for explaining the penance stare. So like a mom stare, right? All right. So I want chains here. I actually think that these ones would not come up that high. Chain, so 3 links of chain. These ones are going to need to come more to a point because booby squish. Thank you, Jonathan. Wagner, hello and thank you. All right, maybe something sort of like that. Thinking I want to give her a bunch of maybe spiky earrings. Thank you, Golf Boy. That makes me so happy. Yay. I'm probably not Canadian enough to know what that is. All right. I don't like her eyebrows. We're going to redo them. Her eye looks sleepy. Every time I put in an eyeball, it just fucking look sleepy as shit. Yeah, I'm a new Canadian. Maybe it's just too flat right there. I went too far in that. No idea, Cersei. Those glowing orange orbs, not actual eyes. Oh, sweet. Thank you, Brian. See you later, Joel. It was great to have you here. Tom, hello. Welcome to the stream. Is the white balance off on the video? Are you making fun? Mino. I even tried to use some sunless tan because, so this is even more, I have more life in my skin than usual. James, hello. Welcome to the stream today. I don't even exercise. Don't make fun of me. We're not alone. Yay, Lauren. That is so amazing, James. Oh my God, congratulations. She is alone, so very alone. Okay, I'm liking that better. So hopefully once I add an eyeball, it should be good. I like the earrings inspired by Vienna. I just gave spikes as opposed to rings. Again. Ear spikes are good. Yay. Thank you. Yes, she's really like a spiky situation, I think. And I might do some flames coming from like this backside, because then it'll kind of look like they're coming off the skull faceplate situation. When they say the gray one. Aw, man. Have I ever had a sunburn? Oh my god. Yes. I've been burning since I was born, unfortunately. Okay, so this arm is going to be coming up a little bit more. I've tilted her rib cage to the side a little bit, so one shoulder is lower than the other. Even though it's just like a straight on shot, I'm just adding a few little turns into the body where the weight is shifting, and that really that makes a difference, I think, to the piece not looking quite so stiff. Just thinking about sunlight causes Dawn to sunburn. Basically, yes. I will burn in the shade, in case that makes it a little clearer. Like my mom told me, my mom tans beautifully. Unfortunately, I didn't inherit that from my mom. I got my dad's side of the family where you just think about the sun and you burn. So yeah, for my mom, she said it was like a kind of a surprise for her that us kids burnt so much. And since I'm the eldest, I was the guinea pig of the burning. And, you know, she would put us at the beach or whatever, she would put us under an awning with sunscreen on, you know, in the shade, never out in the actual sun, and we would still burn from the sun reflecting off the sand and hitting us. So I have done a lot of burning in my life. I wish I was a vampire. That would be way cool. I really don't know about the blood part because I am super squeamish, but the rest, yes. That will cause me sunburn via chat. Absolutely, Tom. All right. Were you impacted by Roger's Gate? I actually wasn't. It only happened when we were at the comic book store and the debit card reader wasn't working. So we bought the comics in cash because Vienna was buying herself some books. Not comic books, manga books. And so we just paid for them in cash. And that was kind of the only thing that hit us. I'm on Shaw, so I didn't have any kind of situation. The UV rays, yeah, they must have. Cash is what we needed in order to buy our books. Okay, so we're getting a little bit of a plan for the hair. I'm still not sure about this bottom hand. It's kind of bothering me, but then also kind of not, so I might just roll with it. It's the thing Dawn should draw goddesses on. Yeah, it's true, Tom. What are you doing asking about cash? You're the one trying to get me to do something illegal. Drawing on a bill. Don't know, man. Oh, I finished, Lauren, you're the only person that's going to care, but I finished Downton Abbey, and then the next day, I just started it from the beginning again. And I really wish that you, JP Roth, and I were all in the same location right now, and we could go watch the movie together. Rob, that's hilarious. That's pesos. Oh my god. Wouldn't that be so fun? I will get a sunburn. I'm going to probably get a sunburn because my window is currently open. Aw, you're so sweet, Golf Boy. There are 2 movies. Yes, Tom, I love you just a bit more that you know that. I already saw the one movie, and then the other one is just out. So you've seen the new one already? God damn it, I'm so behind. Ugh. Alright, it's time to knuckle under and do the fucking chains. Isn't a large part of your brother's job with the Coast Guard to be outside, or is he more indoors desk job? You know what? That's an excellent question, Devin, and I'm not sure. But Daniel is just far more resilient a human being than I am. It so is, Lauren. It's the best, especially because there's not that much you actually have to see. And once you recognize everybody's voices, it's amazing. And I'm telling you, the friendship between the woman who plays McGonagall, the 2 old ladies in the show, their friendship is just glorious. The way that they are like almost frenemies, but such close friends and actually really nice to each other, but there's sort of this love-hate relationship going on. Glorious. Maggie Smith, thank you, Devin. And like my favorite line of hers is when the girl says, oh, you know, you really don't like to lose. And she's like, I wouldn't know. I'm not familiar with the sensation. So good. Hey, that's a low blow, what the fan art. Spank, spank. Oh, Cersei, we're talking about Downton Abbey. Mad props to Joe, who made me watch it. I have been resisting all of Joe's recommendations that are at all in, like, you know, the period piece kind of things. I just, like, I've had a thing against them my whole life. I don't watch them. Well, now clearly I do, and I think Bridgerton was a little bit of a gateway drug. Oh no, okay, we're making Juan sick. He says, I can feel the COVID returning as this conversation continues. Okay, we're done. I'll stop. Oh, thank you, True Deadman. I'm safe. So I keep going back and forth. Do I want to do the big collar? You guys can help me decide. Do we want the big collar? Because the catch with big collars is they can kind of make the neck look really short. So, and I already have her head facing down, which is important. I don't want to change it. But do we want the high collar situation, or do we just want the collar down? And I've kind of gone back and forth on that thought, so I haven't made any decisions myself. So you can let me know what you think. The White Queen. No popped collar. Collar down. Okay. Okay, thank you all. The people have spoken. Collar down. That made my life so much easier because it was just tweaking my eye and I didn't care for it. Wow, that is like all of you said collar down. Keep the collar, remove the shirt. So is this a show, Rob, or are you messing with me? I'm not sure. It's a series of shows. They're very good. Okay. All right, so I need to write them down. Hold, please. What is this? Oh. All right. I need to write them down. Okay. So it's White Queen, White. Where can I find these? White Princess, Spanish Princess. Steve wants one collar up. Okay. Okay, I'll look. Thank you, Rob. So this is going to be a little bit more of like a painful looking chain at this spot. But hopefully it won't be so painful looking on the rest of them because this, I don't want to do a really tiny looking weak ass chain. I want to make it the appropriately chonky chain. And to get it so tight around her neck is going to be a little bit awkward looking, but I want it, so we're going for it. Okay, thank you. Lauren, that's awesome. Chonky, is that a, I'm going to draw the Sherlock of chains, right? We're such copycats, aren't we, Devin? Thank you, Pixel Kid. Oh, and thank you for the follow. Yay. All right, so next line of chain. And guess what I discovered that I have? I have a chain brush on my computer in Photoshop. I did not know I had a chain brush, but I do. So I get to just kind of copy my lines. Waha! They're not perfectly placed since I moved her neck from my sketch, but it can at least get me going. That's hilarious, Tom. Thank you. Thank you, Juan. Okay, and I need to push this chain closer together. So I'm going to be able to borrow some of my chain links, but not all. Okay, so I'm going to push that one way over there. And then I'm going to get this one to go really at an angle because booby push. Thank you, Tom. I hope so. Mark, hello. Welcome to the stream. Oh, Pixel Kid. Yes, I am. I work in comics. Zenescope hinted at the Gretel being released as Prince near the end of the month. Oh my god, no way. Are they doing Gretel first or did they say Cinderella? What did they say, Devin? We might be able to figure it out. How are you doing, Mark? So now this one needs to get pushed maybe into the center. Like, we just need to think about weight and how it will, where the chains would naturally fall. Mary Cranberry, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the stream. They said new Dawn Prince. Ooh, so they're not really telling us anything then. But yes, they have Cinderella and Gretel. I think that Cinderella is supposed to come out first, but I'm not entirely sure. I'm really hoping it's Cinderella first because I went more summer colors with Cinderella and fall colors with Gretel. So I'm hoping for the fall piece happening in the fall. You felt booby push in the force, and here you are. Brilliant, Mark. I love it. Thank you, Tom. So I think this one would kind of just loop, but I want it to end around here. This one can maybe go into the center. Booby physics. is what we need right now. I'm thinking something like that. So I'm going to let that sit for a minute and think, and decide if I hate it or not. I have to just kind of let stuff hang out for a while. But yeah, I think it would kind of go to the center of her body and kind of get pushed over the boob. All right. Now we'll start working on the collar soon. I just moved like her shoulders down. I brought her head up. I've done a bunch of messing around with this area because I didn't feel like it was right. Gotta pull on that chain to motorboat. That chain would get lost in the cleavage. But I want to see the chain too. So it's, you know, the chain itself though, think about it. The chain is weighted. Like if you're taking the force of a metal heavy chain, which has a bit of a dangle to it, for lack of a better word, and you take that force against a smushy boob, I think the chain would be pushed in somewhat, but I don't think it would necessarily roll all the way into the center. It would weigh in the area that it is. So I'm kind of feeling like I like where it is. Okay, and then I'm going to put this chain piece under this second piece. So they're going to all kind of bunch underneath each other and, you know, be a little bit of a mess. Chain cluster right there. Well, also, I might even make that chain flaming. I have not decided yet. Smushy Boob, another rap name. It's true, Tom. I may have been asking too much. All right. Now we're going to give her collar situation. I'm not entirely sure how much collar I even want. I may kind of go light on the collar. So for now, I'm doing the shoulder pad part. And here, the lines are different because her arm is coming forward a little bit. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my kneaded eraser and I'm going to lighten this up a little bit and I'm going to start finalizing these lines. And when I ink this piece, I'm going to ink it, outlines only, scan it, and then I'm going to add in all the black that I feel is needed. I may even do some of the flames in Copic tone, but this is just going to be a black and white inks only piece on paper. But I do want to go pretty heavy with the blacking. Ted, hello, welcome to the stream. We are doing well. Thank you so much. Kitty Grace, hi. Brandy, hello, love. Welcome to the stream. How are you? I have no idea which version, Devin. I'm playing very loosely. You know, not really being too careful about any of that. It's just more of like a vibe. Any way to slip in strategically placed flaming tassels? Whatever for? I literally don't understand the reasoning. Are you talking about like booby tassels? Oh my god. I don't know, Tom. I'm gonna need to give that a good, long, hard think. Can't stay long. You did, Brandy! Congratulations! Hip hip hooray for Brandy! Oh my god, I'm so happy for you! You passed with flying colors. That is awesome! You must feel like such a badass and probably like you need a good nap. So happy for you, Brandy. Hello, Stone Cold Snake. Welcome to the stream. Thank you. No way, Beth. That's so cool. Your brain is absolute mush, I'm sure. My god, you must just need a massive vacation. So much love to you, Brandy. Don't want to keep you too long if you've got to run, but thank you so much for telling us the good news. This one's too long. Hello, Pedro. Welcome. Oh, yay, thank you, Beth. That means a ton. Meeting my boyfriend's kiddos, that's terrifying. Aw, you're gonna do amazing. Brandy, there is just no way for any human in the world to meet you and not absolutely love and adore you. It's impossible. So you've got this. You broke down when you passed your certification. Aw, Tom. I'm sorry. It's the truth, Brandy. Not liking this. This is a tough spot to fit. God damn it. It was a good breakdown. Aw, Tom. Your next certification exam is over 1,200. Jeez, that's expensive. Does your work pay for it for you? Nice, Rob. You need to give yourself far more credit than that. You are way fancy pants. Have I chain linked myself into a corner here? It's possible. It's all on you now? Oh. Previous company would reimburse. And do you need to keep them up? I know, right, Mark? I might need to. But then, you know what? It's going to be a chain link that will haunt me forever. I wish I could just kind of sometimes be like, all right, fuck that. I'm not going to bother. It's too much work. And then, you know, carry on living my life. But no. All right, I think I've just got this on too much of an angle. Damn it. Every 5 years in order to keep your certification? Oh, so you can't just be like, fuck it? I might, Cersei. That sucks. I need to get a folded piece of paper. I don't want heat transfer onto my page, so I'm just reaching over here. Hackers change their tactics too much, so we gotta try and stay ahead of them. My goodness, that is really intense, Tom. I'm sorry. At least you know you fancy. Alright, so we're just going to ditch that one completely and start over here. Because I also don't want to end up with any kind of tangent angle lines that are going to conflict with her jaw. So, take 2. I think I'm going to try turning it a little bit more this way. And then this one is just completely behind. Boom. Kind of like that. Mine is just continuing education and seminars and the annual fee for the rest of my career. You're amazing, Tom. And you too, Brandy. Mad respect. John Bestoink, thank you so much for the follow. And Mari Cranberry. I may have already thanked you, but either way, thank you both so much for the follows. Thank you, Rasta Man. Welcome to the stream. All right, I think I'm going to leave it like that for the chains. And let's start working on this one down here. These are, the chains are looser on her neck. So, you know, the looser it gets, the easier it is. It's the turning a corner around a neck with big chain links that's a little bit complicated. Hacker conference in Vegas is educational. It must be fun. I guess conventions work side is kind of like, do you hang out with other, you know, computer security people? Or like, you know, it's kind of for me the way, like, once the show is over, then the artists kind of go out to dinner, talk shop. Is that kind of the same thing that you guys do? More certification means more money. So then the fee is worth it, I'm assuming. So much love to you, Brandy. It was great to see you today. Big hugs. And congratulations again. It's all cyber nerds, totally. Yay! Go to dinner, go back to the room for Hacker Games. Nice. All right, and then, you know, I'm just doing small indicators of where her neck actually is. And then here is collarbones. One cleavage line. I'm only putting one on this side because it's kind of the boob that's getting pulled up, arm over, and lean. So that would put weight there. More chains down her torso. I know I was just going to do this one right here, this one here, and then Nips for starters. Sure, Nips is hilarious, by the way. She is going to have her jacket open. and it would be covering the boobs, or I'm going to put a like torn t-shirt kind of situation and then have the jacket open and behind her. So I keep going back and forth about those because the jacket could also just go by her armpit, outside side boob area. Flaming nips. Ouch. Okay. Let's look directly at us here. Oh, yay. Thank you, Tom. You have a point, True Deadman. They can be cold. Alright, I might as well get the chains done here and then decide on the rest of her jacket. Yikes. We're gonna get ourselves some spikes. And I want to see, like, how big should I make the spikes? I mean, they could be massive. Really go for it. Or we could really go, like, mega gamer art style and just make them huge. Hanasol, hello, welcome to the stream today. No, I'm even more like, I have more skin tone than usual. I totally did. I did some of the like sunless tanner stuff. You guys are hurting my feelings. I tried. I really tried. To at least get rid of the like purple undertone I sport. Aw. One can try though. So now I'm gonna make the chains sit on her boobs a little bit. So like we're gonna have a teeny bit of perspective going on with the chains. Hopefully, if I can pull this off. Thank you, Hanusol. Oh, very good one, Steve. They always require at least wine and dinner. Well, it's better than usual. That's all I can say. No beans so far, no. Though this is not a bean. Never mind. I spent a good portion of my morning today with trying out what it feels like to have a bag taken off of your head. And are your eyes open or closed? How is the bag pulled? Does it get caught on your chin? Would it release easily? Does it pull your neck width somehow, you know? How much does your hair get pulled? It was very interesting. So I just over and over put a pillowcase over my head and pulled it off. That was, you know, a good part of my art research for the day. No, it was me doing it to myself, unfortunately. See, here's the pillowcase, and I did this over and over. So, have it over the head, and then pull. Does it get caught on your hair? Does it pull your hair? Do you end up with the hair in front of your face, you know? It was a torture simulation. Yeah, basically. It was art research for Divinica. So it was all very important. Dan was nowhere around. Dan was, you know, working. And I was just bag on, bag off, bag on, bag off. Also, yes, true, Tom. It's what was needed. I needed to draw a panel today with a bag being pulled off of Divinica's head. I know, right, Rob? I need to consider my life choices more carefully. Okay, now it would drop. No, I don't like it. That ruined the boobage for me. Hello, oh, thank you, Brian Singer. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you for hanging out for a bit. Yeah, it was ruining the boob lines. Maybe I do have to push it all the way to the center. I just didn't want to. No, I drew Divinica with messy hair afterwards. Right, Beth? I'm ruining the boobage. Like, maybe I am just gonna have to push them both into the center. Her dreads would be okay. That's true, but I did make them more like must and fussed. Make it go to the right hip. Oh, but I did that and it looked like she was taking herself for a walk. Yeah, I didn't do any reference pictures. I just wanted to, like, you know what it feels like. And I was on Skype with Joe, so I was just doing it over and over. Here we go. Here's how you pull the bag. Let's try again. You say that like it's a bad thing? Well, if this one was sitting on top of her boob, it's true. It could just kind of end there and then make this one longer and just hanging into the center. We'll try that. And I think what I need to do is just push it more at an angle, like so. Doesn't work. Joe was thinking so. This is my artist. Yeah, I'm sure she thought I was a little bit... sure she was a little bit confused by me. See you later, Stanley. Peekaboo with Joe. Joe writes, crazy shit just to see if Dawn will do it to get reference. Okay. So the ethereal goddess Joe was on Skype with your safe word. Oh, that's funny. Joe just disconnects when Dawn passes out. Oh my god. That's funny. Alright, so now it's got a bit of a hang. It won't actually be connecting with her body anymore. So I'll need to put a drop shadow under. So there'll be drop shadow here, but it'll be really close to her boob. But then the drop shadow will be a little bit further away because here it's about a centimeter off the skin. Yeah, I mean, every time I draw chains, I'm just like, never the fuck again. And then I draw chains again. Steffi draws things. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the stream. It's a comic no one is ever going to have to actually do that. Fast forward to the movie set where a stunt person has a bag over their head. Yep. We're hoping for it. may draw some kind of spike thing at the end. I haven't decided. That's how you feel about drawing lace and mesh material. Yeah, my God. They got too small. The chains got smaller. Oh my God. Aw, thank you, Tom. See you later, True Deadman. Have a good night's sleep. Joseph, thank you. That means so much. One second. Sorry, guys. I have to go from Friday to Monday, not what knowing what day it is. Aw. I'm gonna move this out a little further too. We're gonna go in a more angled direction. Like that. Trying to just think about which way this chain link would go. I think actually I'm going to turn it this way so it's kind of twisting forward. Yes, we're going to twist forward, then come straight. guys, I'm sorry. If you're starting to get really bored with this part, let me know and I'll move on to something else. Yeah, the cleavage would twist the link. So I've got one link twisted. Now I'm trying to just decide what to do here. Never boring with the group comments. Yay, you guys are the best. I love it. I love it so much, Tom. Never stop. Oh, sorry, outsider. If it's any consolation, it happens to everybody. For the pointy and stabby bits? Oh, you want the, like, spikes and shit? You want me to start working on that? Yeah, okay. I think this is working a little better for me. I'm gonna take a guess here and just put this one straight on. Maybe I'm gonna push this one forward. No, that makes it look strange. Yay! Just talking to my son, 1 second. Why don't you leave it there? Oh, interesting. That's a thought, Hanu Soul. All right, I want at least one more because I don't want that to be, it needs some weight a little bit further down because it's too perfect an end point. So at least one more chain link and then maybe like a circle or a spike or something. I was really wanting it to be longer than that, but that's okay. No tangent boobage. Rob knows. As I'm scrambling to find a chain to run down my boobs for reference. Oh, Tom, that's so sweet. Sorry, guys. Don't let the chain become the Harley boot. True. Which one was that where I was leaving the boot till the end? Tom's so sweet and so creepy. Alright. I do want her to have some sort of collar, so we need to do some badassery here. What can I say? I'm a team player. Okay, so you guys, I didn't even remember this. Oh my God, Justin, hello. He says, someone said creepy. I have been summoned. Ah, you guys are the best. All right, I will not let the chain become the boot that I never finished. Good memory. I don't even remember that. I guess I've had so many times and on so many pieces where I'm leaving something till the end of just like, I can't even bother with this right now. So I won't do that, but I am going to do it right now for a little while. The Your Heel seat was awesome. Yay! Well, mad respect and gratitude that you guys even remember. All right, we're going to do some crotch time. There had to be at least 3 streams of avoiding the boot for real. Wow, I am so pathetic. Lame. It is not too creepy. Making, you know, I don't even know if I could say it out loud, but literally, if your guys are impressed with the whole situation, that's awesome. Crotch time will be my favorite phrase for the week. You're welcome. Thank you, Rob. Now, how to use it during a staff meeting. I don't know if that's possible. Context wouldn't really work. Okay. Full disclosure. Something that is incredibly difficult to do, and Hell Witch is the worst with it, is spikes on a foreshorten. They're like so difficult to draw, and she has like a bajillion spikes on her boobs, and they are from every angle. Oh. So difficult. And so I have a few here. It is, to be fair, it's reminiscent of another crotch I have in my possession by someone you'd appreciate. Oh my God. Taken out of context of art, Rob, yikes. It is not Juan. I hate drawing spikes foreshortened. So this one would be slight angle. Tonight is spaghetti. My God, I am just shedding hair everywhere like a cat. The skull on the belt should be on fire. Huh. That's actually a really good idea. Okay, gotta watch out for tangent lines right here. Yeah, it sure is. So this is essentially alluding to a spike, then it starts going a little bit on the side, and then out here we'll have a nice big spike. If that was Sherlock, I don't think Sherlock's made any noise. It might be the kids playing outside. Sherlock is kind of finally coming to his senses in this house, and he spends a lot of the hotter parts of the day in the basement. Shedding. I don't use those words. I'm a ladylike around here. Yeah, it must be that. You know, I have my... Yes, true. I do use my F-bombs rather liberally. But there's just some words that are a little bit more unladylike than other ones. I think that F-bombs work appropriately. I'm redoing some of my older coloring thingies with more contrast and boob shadows, and I can only blame my misery on what the fan art. Oh no. Hey Libby, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the stream today. It's the worst, Tom, but thank you. I think maybe what I'll need to do is put shadows from the spikes to kind of allude to the fact that this one is as long as these ones. I don't know. I may have a mini consult with Senor Ebas, if I can. Well, I'll ask Joe to ask Eric. Dragomir, hello! Welcome to the stream today. I may change the shape of this plate. I'm not sure I'm loving it. So I'll see about that. Oh yeah, the overthinking it started long ago. Oh, hello, Alan. Welcome to the stream. Maybe flame-shaped plate buckle? Yeah, something. I think I need to become a little bit more imaginative. I don't like that shape. I'm going to leave it for now until something better occurs to me. Black leather pants. Get the spike thingamajigger. Just don't make it diamond shaped. Alright, I won't. Well, I honestly may get rid of the plate altogether and just have the skull there. I don't know. I've never seen it, Alan. I don't plan on making it diamond shaped, Tom, but why? Why should I not? Okay, favorite Ghost Rider cover was the one by Silvestri where he's like riding forward. Like the foreshortening action. I don't know. That piece is like one of my favorite Silvestri pieces and by far my favorite Ghost Rider of all time. Big ass oval Texas buckle. I don't know. Isn't an oval kind of boring? I'm feeling a little bit snoozy thinking about it. Let's see. Yes, that cover. Unreal. It is so good. The whole thing is just mind-blowingly awesome. I literally can't even. Like, what the hell? Isn't it so amazing? Taco Tuesday! See you later, Hanu Soul! Much, much love to you. Yeah, I think if I put a drop shadow under the spikes, it works a little bit more. It implies that they're all the same height. Especially this little nubbin right here. I've never wanted to be hit with a chain to the face so badly until that Silvestri cover. It feels like it's coming off the page. Like, the skill involved in that piece, there's the wheel and the way it looks like it's spinning so fast and the chains that are coming at you and even his angle is coming forward. Like, that, I mean, there are so many Silvestri pieces that are just to die for, but that one, like, is, I don't know, it's like a punch to the chest, but in a good way. Yeah. They were wheels made of fire. Rebel Wilson as a punk chick the Ghost Rider saves. Huh! Exactly, Devin. Okay, so then this one, I think it would still... I need to have myself a think on angles here. We might be seeing more of this one. This one would probably still be at this angle, and then only this one we would start seeing it come out like that. I think something like that would be correct. That one and the Batman and the Batcave Silvestri pieces are my favorite Silvestri pieces. I don't know which one is the Batman in the Batcave. Is that where he's like basically sitting on a throne? I know. Where is Sherlock? Yesterday he was like, last time he was really giving you all a show. Where's my chubby pen? Hello, Jonathan. All right, hip time. And then I'm going to need to make these black leather pants. That's going to be hard. Yeah, a little bit more of a noisy house. I know. It was a little bit inappropriate what the fan art, but you know, nothing I can do about Sherlock. Oh, he's downstairs giving himself the self spa. I see him. I think the shadows are going to go the opposite way if I've got flames coming down here. All right, I'm going to work on her hand a little bit up here. So let's just make sure her hand is the correct size. Boom. Yes, it's good. So I want her holding it. For anybody that watches Naruto, you'll know what I mean when the Anbu Black Ops are putting their mask on their face. The way that they hold it and kind of click it in place is kind of what I'm going for here. They don't hold it like, you know, a masked ball mask, like front by the chin. They kind of grab it from the front and click onto face. So I'm just kind of having her holding it like this. Essentially could click onto face. Yeah, I'm telling you, Sherlock sometimes, if there's like a party at one of the other houses, he'll run under my bed because he thinks they're in the house. It's that loud. And I would close the window, but it's too hot to do so. Oh, and I changed the background color of the Your piece. I was doing digital colors with you guys on that. After the stream, I changed my mind and did the background in a slightly different green. I wanted to make it less pastel than this. But yeah, I went with the kind of teal background. Darker, but yes. It's too hot for me. We are, you know, this is all in context. It's not too late at all what the fan art. I will think about it. It's just, you know, I want to be careful. I don't want to look like I'm ripping off Lady Death. And, you know, she has a very, very, set style, but I can totally give that a shot. The one thing that's happening in this house is Sherlock is we have all these magpies that are all over this neighborhood, and they are so loud. And they come right to the screen door and taunt Sherlock. So they're like right across the glass from him, and he's right here. I'll post a picture where he's like charging at the glass to attack the birds. They don't give a shit. They're not scared of him at all. But yeah. Yeah, that's very possible, Mark. Okay. Alicia, thank you so much for the follow. I think at least her eyes don't look sleepy now, so I'm pleased with that. And I don't know that I want to give her gloves, but maybe I do. I'm thinking. Not sure yet. And that's her thumb on the other side. So I do have it that we're, it's definitely a cupped situation, right? She's holding it, but her thumb is stabilizing it on the other side. I don't think I'm going to make the skull on fire. I'm going to have her hair on fire. The skull is going to is kind of think mask. So what I meant with the on fire is that her flames of her hair would be visible through the holes in the eyes. No, just magpies. Sneaking up on them, getting caught in his gravitational field. True. Yeah, I think Tom is right about the gloves, though. Even if it just kind of, I don't know, makes the whole piece make sense a little bit more. Plus, up here is going to be so strongly illuminated. A skull is a light tone. I think I might go dark. Yeah, I'm going to go dark with her. I'm going to give her gloves so that there's that contrast there. Or it's just too much light up at the top, and then it's going to be very bottom heavy. So we're going to do gloves. I'm going to give her a spiked wristband thing. Motorcyclists would wear gloves. Also true. This is extremely loosely based. I hope everybody knows that. So in order to give her gloves, I'm going to flatten the tips of her fingers. We're going to see a lot more folds in the cloth. We're going to see a seam going down the side. Nice, Devin. It's lighter up top. Yeah, I'm a little bottom heavy. Thank you, Alan. Sorry. Oh, yay, Bo. Thank you. All right. Now I want to, put some imagination into her clothes. Can kind of do whatever, and so I want to think about it. For starters, I'm definitely going to change this. How much smaller is the pinky? All right, so the pinky actually needs to stop right about there. So I made extra long pinky time. Oh, well, look at me being dense. Sorry, Tom. That is also true. Just the skull with maybe a little flame. All right. Well, now it looks weird to me, Tom. I'm going to refer to my sketch underneath and see. I love the way Campbell draws hands. Just love, 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 love. Oh, so it's not even in the right place. I'm going to take a little peeky peek. You vote on the flaming skull. All right. Yeah, I like that pinky a little bit better. Keep the long pinky. All right, something sort of like that. Kiki Creative, thank you so much for the follow. Yay! All right, I think something sort of like that. And then really it's going to be all about the the leather shading. Whatever leather shade I put in there, that's going to kind of make that stand out a little bit more. Nose cavity would be slightly more glowing as well because that's an open part of the bone. And then thank you, Kiki. Much appreciated. Oh yeah, that panel is so brilliant. Stacy, thank you. So we're thinking some sort of flame situation. I don't know, that kind of looks like pubes, and I'm not super interested in doing that. I'll keep trying. I know, the like pointed toe, so good. I think simpler is better for the skull belt. Yeah, I agree. I think I might just even go with the skull, or I'm going to sit with it like this and see if some kind of shape comes to mind that isn't too much. I don't know. No buckle seems like it would work. We shall see. Sometimes I just have to leave it plain, and then, you know, an idea will come to me. All right, I'm gonna do some reference check. So you really wouldn't see all that much, honestly. I guess she's a little bit more like this. So you really would only see, okay, so here, I mean, clearly comic book character has bigger boobs than Dawn does, but arm like this. Okay, elbow comes up a little more. So shoulder starts to come down. We see a little bit of the corner of the elbow. Goes like this, flattens out, elbow bone, other elbow bone, which kind of forms a slight triangle shape, and then goes into bicep and arm. All right, something sort of like that. She's gonna have a sleeve on, so I just needed the basics right there. Gonna convince us you don't have a mask laying around for reference? What kind of mask? Okay, so someone was saying, maybe if we did. Yes, exactly. I don't know if I could do that. With the smaller shape, yeah. The smaller shape is definitely better. Good suggestions from all involved. Just trying to determine exactly what kind of shape to make it, but yes, I agree. All right. So at least now I feel like I can put my weight down a little bit more on her arm. I think it's worked out. I literally might just make the jacket go behind her and kind of just tuck under her armpits. Maybe. Mine doesn't have that comic book artist look. Sometimes I tell myself the day my pencils start looking like yours doesn't mean I achieved a penciling degree. Demi Wildcat, thank you. Okay. We have a serious question here. I have an artist thing. When I look at your pencil work and others in the field, I look at mine. Mine doesn't have that comic book artist look. The day my pencils start looking like yours doesn't mean I've achieved a penciling degree. I honestly, I've felt that way when I compare my pencils to Campbell or Ebas or Silvestri or anyone. Oh no, it's pores time. But the thing that I think it is, because I've actually asked people this specific question, it's all about quickness and confidence of line. So I actually don't have a very confident line. I'm trying. I'm working on it. But I've felt the same way that you do about like my pencils versus other people's pencils, especially when I first started in comics. And the thing to do is to just go fast. I know it sounds ridiculous, but do not do short slow lines or small deliberate lines, which I do a lot of times when I'm inking because I lack the confidence needed. But when I'm penciling, I can be a little bit more confident and sharp with it, and that is what it is. A lot of really, really good artists will, in order to achieve that confident line, they'll hover. You know, say I want this line right here to be just like this. I'm going to move in a little bit closer so you can see. Okay, so this line right here, they'll hover, 1, 2, 3, then put down the line. So it's done confidently and in the right place. So it's about that. It's about doing it fast. So I'll like do my rough little sketches with all the like not very confident lines, but then I take my kneaded eraser, lighten it, go over it with a confident line because now I know it's in the right place, or at least I've decided that's where I'm going to put it. You'll die on that hill? No, there is just no way. Yes, the Voodoo eraser. This thing is gold. Get your sketch down, all these non-confident scribble lines, lighten them up, and then go ahead, place it down with confidence. Drawing for 15 years, my results are the same, but yeah. Try to go faster. I'm not saying be a faster artist. I'm just saying in the moment where you put down the line that you're going to do it fast. All right, I'm just going to pop back out a little bit. So, not happy with this situation right here. Want to fix it. Need to add I'm just going to do a little end piece, I think, to the chain here. I won't go as long as I was planning, but I do want one end that's longer than the other. I don't want them to be, you know, parallel. I don't want them to be the same length, all of that. Once you can fake sincerity, you've got it made. You need to fake confidence is what it is. Neil, hello. Welcome to the stream. So yes, I think while I was talking, you all agreed with me that short jacket is the way to go. Just crop that shit, right? Aw, Tom, you're so sweet. Feels like heresy words. Oh, my voice is sounding rough. Thank you, Philip. Hello, Timothy. Welcome to the stream. Hell no, what the fan art? I would sooner shoot myself. That is a hard pass. It's practice. Practice. And I know you've been drawing for a long time, so I'm not saying your art needs practice. I'm just saying that kind of stroke needs practice. And, you know, I've been trying also for years to fake the crow quill look. I love the 90s style crow quill inking. Like, if you look at that Ghost Rider piece, it was inked by Weems. Joe Weems. Also, baller. And I'm quite certain he inks with a crow quill. Danger Girl was inked by Alex Garner, again with a crow quill. I love that crow quill look. And that look is, you know, when you're inking with a crow quill, which I've tried to do once, never again. I don't know. It would take me a learning curve of time that I don't have time for, but I can fake it. It makes that kind of ink pool at the end. So there's a line, and if you look really closely, there's a little bit of a pool of ink where you stop the line, where you know they've done the stroke and they're done. Adelso Corona right now. He is inking over Brett Booth. Oh, glory. He's so good. But I'm faking it. So I'll do a line and then do a little squiggle at the end. And it's become habitual for me to like do the faux crow quill look with my little nib. Yes, exactly. Jeff, hello. Long time no see. Welcome to the stream. Yes, Chains FML. Yes, like the long teardrop line. Exactly. So it looks like this. And so that's the thing I'm kind of studying to do. And it actually works really well. I'm starting to even put that into like my final line in how I pencil even. David Finch's style also. David Finch is amazing. So he's inked a lot by Matt Banning. Also crow quill, as far as I know. On today's edition of Dirty Dawn, we talk about how best to stroke. Lol. How long have I been doing this piece or art in general? Bat is a superstar. Freaking awesome. So I've been working on this piece. I started sketching it out during my previous Sunday live stream. So I guess 3 hours now? 4 hours? And then as far as, no, I guess more like 5 hours. Anyway, as far as the working in art in general, I've been in comics for about 10 years? We lost Sundays. However, I used what would normally be my Sunday live stream to prepare this piece for today's live stream, if that makes sense. It's making it possible for me to do some of these just for funsy pieces where I can still do the planning time with some, what do I call it? Mind palace. I need my mind palace time where it is silence. I worked off stream, exactly. During what would normally be a live stream time. Okay. So hopefully I will have this a bit more figured out by Thursday, but you know what? I'm working on interiors right now, and I'm trying to learn how to draw men. I'm going through an intensive art study class time with Ebas Sensei. So I'm working on panels and a crash course on drawing dudes. Dawn's selfish Sundays. Well, yeah. Yes, I'm trying to learn how to draw men in the comic style. That means, you know, big shoulders. This muscle right here, I think, is the main thing that I'm not drawing enough, so that makes my men not look like comic men. And I do kind of want to draw, you know, if I was tasked to draw Batman, it wouldn't take me twice as long as the rest of the piece. They have more, yeah, but Devin, the muscles are like disproportionate to the rest of the body. The head is smaller. The hands are much larger than an actual dude's hands. Their wrists are the size of your calf. AC Dramon, welcome to the stream. No, or maybe it's ACD Ramon. I'm so sorry if I'm saying your name incorrectly, but thank you for the follow. You basically can't draw a man in comics with any curved lines. Everything must be straight. And I have to, give credit where it's due. I'm learning this from Ebas. Yeah, comic book dudes are a whole different animal. Like, drawing a male person, it's, that's one thing. But drawing a comic book superhero body style is not the same thing. Oh, for real, Jeff? Thank you. Chains. Why do I do this to myself? All right, so I want to give her, maybe we're going to go for a little bit more high fashion biker chick. Fabok is so good. Yeah. You're right, Devin. I did not mean to get on your case. Hello, Mandy Show. Welcome to the stream. Heavy 3PO. Thank you for the follow. So yes, I am really trying to learn how to draw male faces, male necks. The neck is a big one. If I draw, I kind of go unrealistically skinny neck for female characters that I draw in comics and stuff like that. I'm aware that I go a little bit gangly neck. But then a dude neck is very different situation. So I had to try so hard when I drew that Batman, and I just lucked out that, I put in the X's on his face and covered him with splatter and stuff like that, and I managed to get away with it. But it's just a whole different thing. Is this this is just for funsies, Jeff? I haven't really thought through anything else. It's so that there's something fun for live streams while I'm still working on the pages. Aw, thank you, Rob. Much love to you, Mark Riojas. Thank you for hanging out for a while. It's always great to see you. The turkey neck, yes. You're sketching while you're watching? I love that, OB. Possibly, if you're interested. All right, yeah, I think I want to just kind of tuck it over, almost make it like a bolero, I think that's what we're going to do. Timestamp 7:44 p.m. Yeah, I think we're going to do that. We're going to go bolero style. And then maybe I might do just a little color. Just a short one. Just want to, I don't know if I want to make it super big, but I don't know if I want to go completely gone, but maybe, we're going to play in the happy middle right now. And then I'll just kind of stick it right there. Thank you, Alan. I'm sorry, Rob. I didn't see that then. All right, so perhaps there are earlier bids. Working on a clay piece on a wine glass. That's so awesome, Kiki. So kind. Now you're leaning towards spaghetti? Well, it's yummy. Pasta with garlic bread. That sounds delicious. I'm just playing around here, trying to see what form looks good to me. If this works. If this ends up accidentally reminding me of something else. I'm sure you do, Devin. It broke your tooth? What? For real, Justin? Have I worked on any comic books? Yes, I have, Kiki. So I've been in comics for 10 years, I think, now. I've done interiors for 3 companies. Zenescope, DC Comics, and Rothic Comics, who I do the most with, and who I work with on interiors full-time-ish, and then I do covers as well. Is that the Spawn collar buckle? Shit. Then I have to change it. Is it? Is that what you're saying, Tom? Broke half your wisdom tooth. Now it's just a dumb tooth. Oh my god, Justin. Alright. See? That's perfect. I'm glad you guys tell me those things because I don't want it to be reminding anybody of something. Oh, it reminds you of Spawn's collar. Oh well. I erased it. Now I want flames within flames. I suppose, like someone said, a little bit of the Farrah Fawcett hair look where it's just kind of all over. Will be Halo from Batman and the Outsiders. Awesome, Alan. That skull reminds me of a skull. You should change it. Fair point. I have been called out on my nonsense. What's that, Devin? I'm showing my stupidity once more. Do I want a flame curl in the face? I don't think I want a flame curl in the face. I'll have to look up all the various suggestions. Yes, Alan is working on a piece. He's on Facebook, so he's talking about doing something from Batman and the Outsiders. All right. Devin is sending ref. Oh, okay. Yeah, that works. And the Spawn toy with collar. Sweet. So it's handy that I've got, you know, this part of her arm, there's elements on it. So that's what makes like buckles, garters, any kind of clothing or belts on a body makes it so much easier to handle foreshortening. Like to do foreshortened like this, well, here you just see my hand, but like that, for instance, it's a lot more difficult when you're just dealing with like skin, or maybe 1 or 2 lines. But when you've got, like, if I had a belt or a strap right here, or a gauntlet situation and a glove and, you know, a shirt sleeve right here, those things help so much in kind of showing the viewer the foreshortening that you're working with. So the fact that, you know, I'm going to give her a bracelet thingy right here, and then I might put like, you know, her sleeve and a few wrinkles, all of those things make it so much easier to show everyone what you're trying to do. Yeah, you can break it up into pieces and it just indicates the direction. Thank you, Steppenwolf. Yeah, the breaking it into sections and it just like in one split second glance, you can see that this is coming toward us, this one is going backward. That's so nice, Cersei. Thank you. Yay. So, you know, she will be wearing some kind of shirt, or, you know, I'm still thinking, maybe I'll put her jacket back in front. Maybe I'm going to close her jacket. Like, I haven't gotten there yet. You know, give her some sort of tightened shirt or something. Anyway, there's still thoughts to be thunk. No, Tom. All right, let's get this here. There is much more arting to be done on this one, to be sure. For now, Dawn Thunkery. Yes, it must happen. Thoughts must be thunkin'. All right, I would like to raid someone tonight. Let's see who we should raid. Tropic02. I don't know if we raided them before. I have about 6 minutes. I don't think Jim Lee is live right now. Oops. Oh, God. Well, all I'm seeing is ads at the moment. Oh, Keeman is on? Alright, let's give Keeman a raid. There we go. Good night, What the Fan Art. Raid. Keeman. M-O-N. Hopefully I won't do a self-raid. Alright, we're gonna get the raid started. Hopefully You're having a subscriber-only chat? Alright, well, let's still go give Keeman some love, see what he's working on, and thank you all so very much for hanging out with me this evening. I will see you on Thursday for more art on this piece. I love you all. Good night. Let's go raid.